Let's say that someone asked you for help. Would you be willing to lend your hand, or would you just reject the offer? Okay, obviously you're probably willing to lend your hand if you're a good guy, because if you say no, you're going straight to hell, dude. So let me rephrase the question. If someone told you to put saliva up your nose, would you do it? Obviously not, right? But there are some people who would say yes even though they don't want to do it. There's a lot of reasons why you could reject it, but for some reason you would rather say yes than say no. And yes, I was one of those people, and it led me to a lot of scary and embarrassing moments. So there was a time in Japan when us students were volunteering for a city festival. Also, it was summer vacation, so there really wasn't much to do, so I had to say yes. And we pretty much didn't have a choice because it was the school who organized the whole thing. Yeah. And so we were headed to the city festival, we tried organizing the stuff, the stages, the booths, and once that was done, we were assigned to our positions and the festival began. Now, unlike most festivals around the world, Japanese festivals are very traditional, but they can also be weird. By weird, I mean they're really creative? I mean, they use the fire truck ladder as a ride, and they also use construction materials as some sort of game. So yeah, it's pretty weird. Or maybe it was just that particular city, I don't know. Anyway, I was assigned to the fire truck ladder thingy, and the organizer of that said ride tasked me to line up the guests by their reservation numbers. And the guy was like super happy to explain the whole thing to me, but there were still some things that were left unclear. Like, what if this certain number didn't come to that same time, or what if they didn't bring a ticket? Anyway, he left me with those unanswered questions, and then he just let me work. Now, the morning shift was pretty easy, but it kinda got more difficult during the afternoon, because all the guests who couldn't come in the morning was now trying to ride it in the afternoon. Now, I didn't know if I was supposed to line them up, or put them in front, or put them in the back. They didn't really explain it that well, so I had no idea what to do. And then came this guy. Dun dun dun! Sound effects, I don't know how to do that. So there was this guy who recently just came to line up. He was looking pretty cool and stylish, but little did I know that he was going to be the scariest person that I would ever talk to in Japan. Anyway, he and her wife, I don't know if it was her wife, lined up and waited for their turn for the ride. Now, I was kind of busy with the front lines because I had to get the tickets, so when it was finally his turn, he told me that he didn't have a ticket. Again, I wasn't briefed what I would do if that were to happen. Now, he didn't have a ticket, so I asked him to go to the back of the line. And then, oh, all hell broke loose. He got all angry at me, and then he glared at me like I was some sort of criminal. And he said that he was already on the line, so it should be his turn. But again, he didn't have a ticket, so I didn't know what to do. And then he kept saying that I didn't know what I was doing, and why I chose this work, when it was really just a volunteer work. And he was like, you employees don't know what you're doing. Omae aho ka? Chanto shigoto shiro yo. Now, I totally understand how they felt. I mean, if I were in his place, I would probably get angry as well. And it would probably still be fine until... おいるは嫌いなことがあるかここにしようと思ったかいやお前は何もわかるな Now at that point I was just frozen and I didn't know what to say. And his baby was like, もうあんたやめてよ The guy was like, もう話せよ And in my mind I was like, I am going to die. Thankfully the organizer returned and he just let those two in. Then I asked him again about the unanswered questions, and then he just said that you should just let everyone in. So I was kind of confused. The guy was contradicting himself, and I wanted to say that to him, but he was kind of happy and he was enjoying his time, so I didn't want to ruin his mood. And so I kept that incident to myself. After a short time, the organizer tasked me to take a break, and so I did. I ate some takoyaki, ate yakisoba, ate shaved ice. Yeah, I like eating. That's pretty much all you do in the festival anyway. And while I was trolling around, I saw that guy again. And he was talking to the firemen and the police. And the first thing that came to mind was, oh my gosh, he's a Yakuza. Now I didn't want to know if it was one or the other, so I just left, like, quickly. Now you might be wondering that maybe I was just overreacting, and you're probably right. But hey, I was volunteering in a foreign country, so I wouldn't really know much about that. Come to think of it, I have another experience to share that's kinda similar to this one. But unlike the previous one, this one has a happy ending, I guess? It all started in the shopping district close by our school. It was Halloween and they were throwing a Halloween celebration thingy. And once again, we were volunteers for that event. Now I didn't really have much qualms about that because it was kind of a fun event, if you think about it. There were kids running around, playing games and stuff, and we were having a lot of fun as well. That is until our school told us that we should participate in a singing contest. Now I am not a singer. I may be inclined to music, but I am not a singer. But then the faculty told us that it was going to be okay because it wasn't really a serious competition. They said it would be just for fun so that we can enjoy ourselves and meet people along the way. And so I accepted. Actually, we accepted. They made us a trio for some unknown reason. And so the singing competition was finally held at the center of the shopping district. We sat down, met a couple people, most of which were actually foreigners. And then when the event started and the first competitor sang, I was like, oh my gosh, they're really good. And then she just started singing and there was a screen or monitor in front of her so she could read the lyrics. But she was still really good. And when the song was done, there were judges who were judging her. They literally had a table and I didn't even see that. One of them even cosplayed as Gintoki from Gintama. They actually gave constructive criticism. And so they thanked the first competitor, let in the next one, and my first thought was, what the heck am I doing here? They told me it was just going to be for fun, but these guys were taking it seriously. Heck, I didn't know that the competition was a big deal because there was a cash prize. School didn't tell us about the cash prize. But I guess I get it, we were volunteers and we were only trying to have fun, so after hearing a lot of amazing performances, it was our turn. And it was embarrassing. Yes, the Doraemon song. Everyone loves the Doraemon song because the two teachers told us that the Doraemon song would be the greatest song ever. Actually, the only reason why we sang that Doraemon song was because one of our partners suggested that we sung the song. My grammar doesn't make sense anymore. Anyway, I was really embarrassed. But in the end, it was worth it because we got a prize and we even got a certificate for joining. We also got to meet new friends along the way, so I guess it was a win-win situation. So I guess that was one of the times that I actually had fun volunteering whilst being embarrassed. And that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience because I have volunteered for a lot of things, be it diagnostic tests or relief operations, outreaches, and whatnot. So what can we learn from all this? Easy. Don't volunteer for anything. No, I'm just kidding. If you're going to volunteer for something, make sure that you know what you're volunteering for and you know what you're supposed to do. And most importantly, even though you're not being paid for it, just have fun. Because believe me, it will make for a great memory. Sometimes embarrassing ones, but it will still make for a great memory. What about you guys? Have you guys ever volunteered for something? And if you have, what did it feel like? If you want to share them, the comment section is always open. And I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a thing or two, and if you did, leave a like, and also subscribe down there for more videos like this. As always, this is vanilla. Not the flavor, but just as sweet.